We're talking today with Lance Whitney for TechRepublic here about Stalkerware and how it can threaten your safety and privacy. And Lance, just the word stalker is enough to make the hair stand up. But this being a problem or Stalkerware is something I don't think many of us have even heard about.
Sure. Yeah. So this is kind of a new and certainly alarming concept, and again, just another way that bad people are learn how to abuse technology. So this is based on a report that came out recently from Kaspersky, the security company. So Stalkerware is basically an app that can be installed on someone's phone for the purpose of stalking or eavesdropping on them and their activities, their files, their content on a phone. And the way that this works is Stalkerware is not something that can be installed from a legitimate app store. So both Google and Apple have banned these types of apps. So you have to go to what they call an unofficial app store or an app store that's not quite legitimate in order to find one of these apps. I guess the only silver lining here is that this type of app, the way Kaspersky describes it, cannot be installed remotely. So it's not something that you can accidentally install by clicking on the wrong link or the wrong file attachment. It's something that the abuser can only install through physical access to your phone. So what that means, of course, is that your phone either has to be unlocked or unprotected in some way, or I'm sure in many cases, the abuser may be someone that the victim knows. It could be, an abusive husband or boyfriend or family member or friend who may already have access or know the password or the passcode to the phone, and they're able to get access to it that way. Now, once this type of stalkerware is installed on someone's phone, there are a few different things that the abuser, the stalker, is capable of seeing and doing. And there are a few items I'm just going to refer to from the story here. Is one thing that the Stalkerware app allows is for keylogging, which is simply a method of monitoring and recording the keystrokes that are made on the device. So through this, the abuser can see what the victim is typing in an email or a message or a text, or they can see whatever passwords the victim types out to log into an online account. Another thing that these apps can do is that they can determine the location of the victim through the GPS feature built into the phone. They can hear what the victim says by eavesdropping on a phone call or a video chat. They can read any type of text message that the victim types or responds to. They can monitor for social network activity. They can view any photos or videos that are on the phone. And then the final thing here is they can even switch on the camera so that unknown to the victim, the camera may be on recording certain moments that otherwise would be personal.
Quite scary to say the least, Lance, just the thought of any of that. And it's so intrusive. Obviously you have to be careful of who has access to your phone, but beyond that, I mean, what are recommendations we can pass along to people, to possibly protect themselves here?
Sure. So Kaspersky organized their recommendations into two different categories. The first one is, how can you tell if this type of stalkerware app has even been potentially installed on your phone if you do have any concerns? So there are a few recommendations here. One is to look for any type of anomalous behavior on your phone. And by that, I mean, is your battery draining much faster than usual? Is your phone overheating much more than usual? So those are signs that there may be something malicious installed on your phone, such as a stalkerware app. Another thing that you certainly want to do is run regular security scans or malware scans on your phone to see if it does uncover any type of malicious app like Stalkerware. A third thing here is also to check your browser history, because as I said before, these types of apps don't come from legitimate app stores. They'll come from these third-party unapproved app stores. And if that's the case, then there should be a record of the download in your browser history. So you can certainly check your browser to see what sites have recently been accessed. There's another feature that's on Android phones called unknown sources, and that basically allows the user to install apps from third-party app stores, other beyond just Google's Play Store. So if this option is turned on, then naturally the abuser, the stalker, can download and install one of these apps. So you want to make sure, you want to check those settings to see if that is enabled. And then a fifth one here is you also want to check the permissions of installed apps. So when an app is installed on an iPhone or an Android phone, it typically will ask for certain permissions, permission to access your photos or your videos or your contact list or something like that. And you can always check, review, and disable some of these permissions. So that's another good tip-off that there might be some type of stalkerware on your phone. And then the other batch of recommendations here is how should you even protect your phone from these stalkerware apps being installed in the first place? And a few recommendations here is never lend your phone to anyone without seeing what they're doing with it. So always stay in the room with them so you can be sure they're not doing anything malicious with it. Obviously, you always want to use a secure and complex password or passcode to secure your phone. Another item here is don't disclose your password to anybody. A fourth one here is to regularly check your phone, delete any apps that you don't use, and again, check for permissions to make sure the permissions for certain apps are not too loose. You also, as I referred to before, you want to turn off the option for third-party apps or apps from third-party app stores to be installed on your phone. And then finally here is you want to protect your phone with cybersecurity software, specifically software that can detect and get rid of any kind of stalkerware app.
Yeah, some great advice there, Lance, because again, very scary to think that this can happen and is happening to people, unbeknownst to them. So some great recommendations there, of course. And we have all of that up on TechRepublic for you guys to check out, and we hope you do there. And we appreciate you watching.